Hello, everyone. Dan here from the Next Issue Podcast. On today's video, I'll be doing a review for The Walking Dead: The Ones Who Live, Episode 5, Become. In this episode, Rick and Michonne try to get back home, but they are ambushed by somebody from their past. This episode stars Andrew Lincoln as Rick Grimes, Danai Gurira as Michonne Hawthorne, and Pollyanna McIntosh as Jadis Stokes. We also have a surprise return. I'll get into that in spoilers in a minute. Um, Overall, I think this was probably one of the most quiet episodes. It also feels like we brought in an element of the story only to kind of take it away immediately. I would say this is probably in a pretty strong season, one of the weaker episodes. The last one was so character driven, and the next one just feels like it's going to be gigantic in scope. So this one feels like it kind of fell in between the cracks of those two. It's still pretty good. I don't think that it reaches the heights of previous episodes. But there's some amazing performances, especially by Pollyanna McIntosh. I think the character of Jadis has gone through so many changes over from the original series to now. So, and if you haven't been caught up with everything, I think the show does a really good job at portraying and pretty much establishing why Jadis's character is so important. So that's really cool. All right, we're gonna get into spoilers. So if you haven't seen the episode, please come back after you've seen it. Um, so we catch up with Father Gabriel from the original series, if you remember him. He's back and he meets up with Jadis. Now we do see that this is occurring in the past. I didn't follow the story after a little bit. I've talked about that in previous reviews, so I don't know what kind of relationship they had in the show, Jadis and Father Gabriel. I don't know like kind of how he got there. So that's interesting because that's kind of a framing device for the whole episode. We continually cut back to they have meetups every year leading up to the current events, um, and that's kind of the way that we portray Jadis's arc and her growth throughout the show. On the other side, we see Rick and Michonne as they're heading home. They're gonna stop at a cabin. They get ambushed by a group after they help them with some walkers, but that's the part of the story that I felt like was just there. Like those people that showed up were just cannon fodder, and I could tell right away. And like after watching a show like this for so many years, you can tell which kind of characters are going to be cannon fodder, and this group definitely was. Rick and Michonne left them alive after they kind of turned on them after they helped them, which is like just shows you how badass they are. And if this was in wrestling terms, this would have been the squash match. Like just to show you like how cool Rick and Michonne are when they're working together. So, but they find the cabin, they spend the night together, just continuing their plans and trying to figure out how to best. At this point, they still assume that the CRM thinks they're dead. But then in the morning, they wake up. Jadis has ambushed them. She's in the cabin. She's holding guns to them, and now they're caught. But of course, badasses that they are, they're able to kind of turn things around, turn the tables on Jadis. She's very injured at this point. I think she takes like an axe to the stomach. Now we know because of the conversation she had with Rick earlier that she has left a file behind with all the details of Rick, Michonne, and Alexandria. So if she dies, the CRM will find that and definitely will go after the community and destroy it. And that's what Rick and Michonne are trying to prevent. Um, there's a chase scene. They catch up to Jadis, but she's able to get away. And she runs into the people that we saw from the beginning. She tries to get them to help her out, which they do. They set up an ambush for Rick and Michonne, but of course, things don't go according to really anyone's plan. The people that were helping her out, they all die, killed by zombies, which I knew was going to happen. Jadis, she's too injured to kind of really get healed, but throughout this whole episode, we had kind of seen like the constant touch points with Father Gabriel and the conversation that she was having, and that's to kind of show us how she's changed her mind on like Rick and Michonne, right? So that's really what it was showing. Like she had a lot of faith behind the CRM, but she thinks that she should not let them, let the CRM destroy Alexandria. She finally is convinced of that. By the time she's about to die, she's bitten by a walker, so she knows that Rick has to kill her. And before they do that, they have a conversation about what their next steps are, so they can be free of. So Alexandria can be free and not destroyed by the CRM. And Michonne and Rick decide that after killing Jadis because she was going to turn into a walker, decide that they have to confront the CRM, get the file, and then escape. Hopefully, escaping finally this whole persecution. So that's kind of what we saw in the setup for next week. That's going to be the big one. It is the season finale next week, so we'll definitely be talking more about that as it happens. But if you've seen this episode, let me know what you thought about it down in the comments. As always, thank you for watching, everyone. Remember to share, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we go live. That is most Saturdays, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Stay tuned. We have more comic reviews, trailer reactions, TV recaps, all that fun stuff in the channel. Thanks for watching, everyone.